Hey guys, Padin79 here. I'm gonna bring to you today a little comparison and talk about two of my favorite quads right now, and the fact that these are two of the best quad you can get in the market right now. So personally, it's hard to choose between the two. The two have different characteristic, different style. You know, the JJRC is direct driven versus the SYMA X11 is gear driven. So you know, it depends on what you're looking for. If you want something for indoors, especially a little bit of outdoors, go with the SYMA. If you want something for more outdoors and a little bit indoors, I would go with the JJRC. I've tried the SYMA X11 in the wind, in a wind of about 20 miles per hour. So gust of wind up to 20 miles an hour, and this thing, especially with the protection cage on, it's struggling. I mean, it can barely stay in the wind, let alone push in the wind. Especially since mine doesn't have the fold forward versus backwards that I was talking about in my video. So the JJRC, on the other hand, is just a tiny little rocket. This thing will push through winds. I think you can fly that thing up to 40 miles an hour, and I think it would be fine. So damn, that thing, man, really pushes. Especially if you have one of the other controllers from a WL Toys, the one that's got the button on the side here that you can you know, select the rates with those buttons, and the top buttons are just for the I mean, you can select that's the rates, and the top button is just for the flip and the lighting, I think. But it has a dedicated flip button on the other controller. Mine doesn't, so you have to scroll down up to 100%, and 100% you're doing automatic flips. So this is one of the things. I would need a new controller for this JJRC. Plus, just to let you guys know, I did order another JJRC from GearBest. They're having a sale. I think I said it in my other video. They're having a sale, and this thing sells for $15, just the quad, bind and fly version. So and I think it's 20 something dollars for the ready to fly version. So a really good price on that. About the same thing as the SYMA X11. Now, some of the things I like about these versus some of the things I don't like is that let's start with the JJRC. So the JJRC is extremely quick. The yaw rate, not as quick as I like, but this thing is just quick and smooth. This thing is butter smooth. But I think this is one of the characteristics of direct driven motors. When you go forward and backward, the transition is just so smooth, and it's just so precise. That thing is just, you can fly this hard and, you know, have full control over it, and it's just a different animal than the SYMA X11. This thing is just a great quad to fly, and you know, I wish they had some small modification that would enhance this quad a little bit more. Maybe the body a little bit bigger, the battery bay, especially this battery bay I hate. So I'm gonna have to modify it, because right now it can barely fit a battery in there. So a little bit harder to fly with the batteries, and it doesn't accommodate as much batteries as the X11. On the other hand, the X11's got a tremendously generous battery bay, and it's got that little tab here that I don't know if you guys can tell, but is moving around just slightly. I'm trying to catch it with my finger, but you see, it's just moving around slightly to keep the battery in place. So a really good battery bay for the SYMA X11. One of the things I don't like about the SYMA versus the JJRC is that it's not as smooth. Something I've noticed, I don't know if it's just the gear driven quads, but the gyros are just too invasive on the SYMAs. I mean, it's just, you go on one side and poof, it all automatically, once you let go of the stick. The JJRC just smooths back on, so the gyros are a little bit too aggressive for the SYMA. It might be something for a beginner, but I think you can put some gyros that are a little bit more easier to work with. I mean, just a little bit less aggressive gyros would be just perfect on this one. So that would be something I would change for the SYMA, and I would like to see change. And the yaw rate, it just has one yaw rate. As for the JJRC's got multiple yaw rate that you change. You get 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%. So 5 speed that you can go, and this thing is gonna change yaw rate. Same thing as the controller, but on the other hand, the yaw rate is slow on that one. So even if you go up to 100%, it might be the exact same yaw rate as the SYMA. So you know, it's kind of hit and miss. So you know, I would just like to mix these two quads together and just get something amazing out of it, man. Just mixing these two quads would make the ultimate quad. I mean, well, except for the yaw rate, I would just wish it has a little bit more faster yaw rate and proportional yaw rate to the speed that you're going to the rate. So that would be just something I would change. But you know, each one of these quads got different personalities, different functions. So one of the quads I like back in the day was the WL Toys V202, and the JJRC, I think, in my opinion, is almost better. Except for the battery bay for the V202, the battery bay is just better on the V202. So just a little something I noticed. So and maybe I could cut out the battery bay from this quad and just screw it on there. That could be an idea. Anyways, I'm gonna have to modify the battery bay on this one. But just to tell you guys, I just ordered another one, and the other one is gonna come with a protection cage, much like the SYMA X11. So this is gonna be excellent just to protect the props. And I think I'm gonna be able to fly it outside too. So I'm gonna do some testing on that. But you know, two very different quads. It doesn't have any headless mode. This headless mode stuff is junk in my opinion. So just great quads to fly around. This thing is not gonna break that easy because one thing, you get a protection cage, and the second thing is gear driven. So the one thing about gear driven is gonna be if you crash and if you hit the prop is not gonna bend the shaft of the motor, because you know you got a gear in between, so it's not gonna bend the shaft of the motor. So that's one of the plus for this quad. That thing is gonna be lasting you forever. If you want to learn to fly, this is the one to take. So a very slow on low and pretty quick on high. A little bit quicker would have been fun. So if they add another speed to it, they make, let's say the first one, the low, they make it, I don't know, 40% or 20%, and the fast they make it maybe 60%, and the other one 100%. That would be excellent, and the yaw rate would be proportional to the rate as well. So that would be fun. But overall, two excellent quads. Really fun to fly. The lights on them are both great for night flights. You know, just two excellent quads in my opinion. I think I'm a little bit more in favor of the JJRC, especially since the summer is going to come out. I'm going to be able to go fly outside. So once I do some modification to the battery bay, it should be fun to take outside and just fly in the wind and just have some fun with it. So kind of a shame though I couldn't get another controller. I think they've discontinued the controller. I'm gonna have to look around on the internet to try to find I think it's the Skylark controller, the V222 controller that you can use for this one as well. So but any WL Toys controller almost that you have for quads is gonna work for this one. So that's a plus. So if you already get a WL Toys, just buy the Bind and Fly version and you're gonna be fine. But overall guys, two excellent quads. You can't go wrong with either of them. I mean, I think they're under $30 for both US. So just a steal for these quadcopters. They come already everything, depending on which model. If you take the Bind and Fly for the JJRC, but they come with everything in the box to get flying out of the box, spare parts, the controller. All you need is 4 AA batteries or 6 for the WL Toys. So it takes a little bit more battery on this one, but you know, all you need is in the box. So just with that, and if you buy like the JJRC, just buy a spare set of props, would be my guess. If you just wanna, you know, keep flying, buy even 2 spare set of props. If you take the one with the protection cage on, the JJRC, even though get another set of props, because you know, you never know if you're gonna crash it or not. So these things are tough and the props are tough, but you know, it's just something that you need to have as a spare part. So, and eventually you might have to get some motors and stuff like that, but that you look towards in the future. So, and I think these quads can last you long enough so you can fly pretty much. If you let the quad rest for, I don't know, 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes, you let it rest a little bit before you do the next flight. These quads can last you for 6 months, a year without having to change them. Look at my V202. I fly this thing, I mean, a lot, and I had to change one motor because of a crash, and the other 3 motors are just standard motors. So excellent quads all around. 2 of my favorite, period, for micro quads and quads, period, because just the way they fly, they're just so versatile, inside, outside. I mean, you can have a ton of fun, and it doesn't take a lot of space. You can just take both of them, the quad, and depending if you got some batteries, you put that in your pocket, and look, you're going flying. You got everything you need in one hand. So I mean, this thing is easy to fly, it's fun, and like I said, the JJRC extremely smooth, but the SYMA X11, you know, good for indoor flight. JJRC a little faster outside in the wind, a little bit smoother, and the SYMA's got a little bit more aggressive gyros, but you know, it's very stable in when you just hover. So 2 great quads, and hope you guys enjoyed this little head-to-head slash just you know, 2 of my favorite micro quads. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I see you guys on the next one.